Hello, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the afternoon session for this 2 weeks live trading session. Apologies, we didn't have the morning session, but I had to get to the radio station this morning for an interview. But I sent out an email with my plan for today, and I hope you all received the email. I actually sent it out last night. So we'll just recap what has happened so far, and then we'll look ahead to the rest of the day. So as we all know, the market opened yesterday, Sunday, so that's when the markets opened. They opened Sunday night and they opened up until Friday night. So the markets were opened last night, Sunday night. And as usual, we'll start off by looking at the economic calendar. So I checked the economic calendar last night, and I knew there were no reports of high importance due out today. So there were no reports of high importance due out today. And then due to that, I knew I was fine to go ahead and place my orders. So looking at the chart last night and haven't drawn my pivot points. The market was at the time between the pivot point and the first support. So I placed a pending buy order just above the pivot point, and a pending sell order just below the first support. And as we can see, the market was initially trending sideways, and then about 4 o'clock in the morning, so about 4 a.m. the market took my pending buy order, and then I was in the trade with a 20 pips stop loss and a 60 pips profit limit. And then obviously you delete the pending sell order and then concentrate on the live trade. And the market continued to trend sideways along the pivot point, and then it decided to fall and then took me out of that trade with a loss of 20 pips. So I lost out on the first trade. I lost 20 pips. So that was the first trade of today. And like we know that, like I said, there are no reports of high importance due out. But now looking at the market now, you can see that obviously the pivot point has now been compromised. So the only clear place to place a trade now will be a pending sell order just below the first support, which I've done, and then a pending buy order just above the first resistance. So I'll just place that. So I'll just place about 2 pips above the first resistance. And then profit limit 60 pips above. There we go. So there we have it. So I have a pending buy order now just above the first resistance, and a pending sell order just below the first support. Like I said, the pivot point has now been compromised and is now caught up within a sideways trend. So I'm just going to avoid that. So I'll either buy above the first resistance or sell below the first support. And as usual, the market falls first and takes the sell trade first, then you delete the pending buy order. Obviously, if it goes up and takes the buy trade first, you delete the pending sell order. Obviously, the market continues trending sideways and doesn't take either of those pending orders by 6:37, then I'll delete those pending orders by that time, or about 6:37. I'll just quickly go back to the charts. Let's just see if we can go this way. See if I can make it smaller. Because the initial question will be, why did I place a buy order at this pivot point? Because one could be tempted to think the market was in a sideways trend then. But it wasn't, because if we go back to the basics of trading, you can see here the market made a low, a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low. So you can see it was making lower lows and lower highs. So it was sort of downtrending from that point up until around here when it stopped making lower lows and lower highs, and it was here it started to trend sideways. So at the time I placed my buy order, the pivot point wasn't in a sideways trend. It wasn't in a sideways trend at that time, last night when I placed my pending buy order. So that's why I did that. Obviously now that it has taken my order and I lost 20 pips, then the whole picture's now changed. And like I said, I'm just going to avoid the pivot point now and just stick to the sell order below S1 and the pending buy order above R1. Okay, so any questions? If you have any questions, do click the hand button or send your questions through the question box. As usual, you'll get a copy of the recording. I will send a copy of the recording to you all, and we'll meet again at 8 p.m. tonight to round up the day and look ahead to tomorrow. Obviously, if there are any changes during the day, I will send you an email update as to any changes that might have happened. Any questions, comments?